Okay, you're in your middle 60s. You just can't grab onto a gate 7 foot high and 10 foot long anymore and go running down the street with it, right? Yeah, the reason you can't is because you did. You can't buy this sort of stuff at the big box store. The big box store is 80 miles away. So unless you're gonna run down there all the time with your old Chevy truck to buy things that aren't gonna work right anyway, we've got this building out here. I call it a building. It's an old tire truck bed that was enclosed with box tubing. I just built a building out of it. It's portable. It's just on skids. Well, I want to utilize the side of this to hang things on and do things and have a little work area out here in between the buildings. I'm legal to do that anyway. That post right there, I want to hang this gate off of. Anyway, back to the shop. We got to drill a few more holes. We're getting our pile whittled down. This is what we've come up with so far. I got to drill a couple of holes, right? U-bolt, couple holes. This is all real simple stuff, but you don't have, you can't buy it. Not that'll work on that type of building out there. The square, everything's square. It's square tubing. It's not round. It's not a fence. The gate is. Oh, here we go. Right? This just fits into the inside of the tubing on that gate. Just fantastic. I bored the hole so I could weld it from this side. Right? That way this side acts as a big bearing for the gate to sit on. Right? We use the U-bolt going through the plate and the box tubing to squeeze it, and we can adjust it up and down on the building, the portable skid building, anywhere we want to make the gate high or low. All right, let's get back to work. We got some holes to drill, and then we got to clean up another. Boy, that's a cruddy looking bolt, but it's gonna work. It's still strong. It was just, this is one that's cleaned up. It's a nice bolt. So that bolt can look like that too. This is just junk box tubing we dug around. We had to cut the piece in half, right? So we had two of them, upper and lower, right? We've got one more of these angles. It's in the drill press already. We're getting ready to drill our holes. But we got to make sure the U-bolt will go through the holes, so it's got to be pretty darn close because I'm cutting the hole too tight. I really don't want a bunch of slop in those holes, so the end of that thing gets all wallered out. I want it to hold the gate nice and firm on there. I don't want it loosened up and wonky and all around. I want to be able to adjust that gate for plumbness so it's not a fight to open or close it. That gate can hang out there without a wheel on the end, and that's our wheel kit we're going to put on there. We hope we can put it on there because I didn't put a very long stud on it. Our wheel kit's done, right? Goes on one end of the gate, the unhinged part, and then you can turn it with that big square, and the top of it acts as a bearing. And it assists you opening the gate, provided everything's flat enough. It's better than no wheels at all, I guess. We'll see. All right, let's get to drilling. How far to roll over? I always measure from center to center, okay? 28 turns. Ought to get you pretty close. You could even go over a little over 28 turns. Don't try to go so many thousandths on the dial and turn and turn, and you could even throw a ruler up here if you wanted to. I could hold this up there, but you count your turns, you can't go wrong. You got to make the turns anyway. Might as well count them. there we go. That should be just right. You exercised your mind a little bit. You know, everybody talks about, oh, you know, you don't use your mind enough, you're going senile. Well, you're out there drilling holes. You know, don't get lazy, drill some holes. Wow, we actually made some progress for once. Amazing. Well, two more of them and we'll be ready to weld them up. That'll be close enough for a gate hanger, don't you think? I mean, we're not doing real high-tech stuff here today. You know, we're not trying to figure out the geometry. Oh, you know, on a roadster going 230 miles an hour on the salt flats, you know, that's not what we're doing here. But we don't want it to fall over either. And we got a 2x4 shim down here when we need it. But we can move it around the gate or these, whatever we got hanging on there. We can move it around anywhere on that side grid. If you look at it as a grid, like a milling machine. You can move this or something like it around anywhere on that grid. What if it was a little gin pole boom thing that you put a little chain fall on the end and you could move something 300-400 pounds? Transmissions, transfer cases. If you did it right and you put a wheel out on the other end of it so it went out over the edge of a flatbed pickup, you could do anything. You could pick up a cab off of a flatbed or a box, another flatbed on a flatbed. Alright, we got two more holes to drill. Yeah, right about there. Yep, that looks pretty about right. Okay, these are just your backup pieces. Your 2x2 tubing beam on the corner of the shed is right in between your backups and your plate right here, right? You got a backup because this is the length of U-bolts we got. You know, you don't want to run around. You know, it was $200 or something like that by the time we got that Chevy pickup out the other day, you know, and most of it, you know, about half of it was freight to get the stuff here, you know. Not much left. So let's do this. We'll have to do it down low first because we can't hold everything at once. Get the nuts on it first, then we can move it around wherever we want to, right? At least that's what we think anyway. Let's just go up a few inches like so. That looks pretty good. And that's what these videos are all about, not so much of what I'm doing, but the ideas that come from a small project like this. That's impatient. Well, see if we moved over. I have to take that off anyway. Okay, we got our steering gizmo welded back up again so it doesn't fall apart, I suppose. design flaw makes an appearance here. There's always design flaws, no matter what you do, how much you try to think of everything. There's always design flaws, don't matter. If we can lift it high enough, those old gut geezers, right? I guess I'm not a geezer yet. We gotta put in our top deal up there yet too. Okay, let me go switch the friggin' battery. We'll be right back. I have the boards right here. If we don't kill ourselves, we've got a little place to set our junk. Same old thing, you know. One for the bottom, one for the top. Peg slides into the tube on the gate. Just hanging the gate. Okay. Looks like it's even gonna fit. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay, now if we just get it on there, the U-bolt, not too much trouble. That slid right in. See what the guys up here so you can get a closer look at it. With the box tubing the way it is, not welded to anything or anything, it's just kind of a shim block, you might say, because that was the only U-bolts that we had. So, you know, when that's all you got, that's all you got, you know, unless you want to, you know, order some more U-bolt blanks and start bending up more U-bolts, you know, which I got these. I mean, it's just gonna hang a gate, right? Okay. Slide our shim block in. Tighten up the nuts a little bit. Maybe we need a hammer, huh? I'll always need a hammer. Yeah, I'll go get a hammer and we'll straighten things out here, but no high-tech deal or anything. Okay, peg just slides in the tube and the gate pivots on the tube. You either use the factory ones and I think they clamp around the outside of the tube. We're just sliding in the bottom of the tube. We got a set of wheels on the outside to, you know, keep it a little weight off of our hangers. I think we're good. Okay, we'll go get a hammer and we'll straighten things out a little bit and finish tightening up that bottom. We're reasonably level with the ground. Reasonable, I should say. Okay. Well, the gate's hung up. We'll try and move it. We used our trusty dusty hammer and got everything kind of straightened into place. We've got such high dollar valuables back here that we got to gate it. Oh, where's the rest of the fence? Actually, I'm trying to keep the gate from getting ruined. If you can see right there, it's a piece of wood grown right into the chain link in a couple of places because at one time it laid against the wall over here and a tree grew up. Partly that tree grew up right through the chain link and I had to cut it out of there. So before it gets ruined, we hung it up. And we showed you how to make a couple of real simple gate hanger hinge thingies. Let's see if we can see if it will move for us. See how hard it is to drive. Oh, that ain't bad. Wants to hang up right there. That's probably the dirt. So, anyways, That looks pretty good. We'll just leave the wheels on it just like that. We could probably take the wheels off of it and it'd be fine, but one hung gate, right? Won't get damaged anymore, hopefully. It kind of blocks off this area a little bit more back here. You know, eventually we'll fence it down through here and secure our valuables. Anyway, all right, we're gonna try and get another video out to you this week. That one wasn't real high tech or anything, you know, but there might be somebody out there that is trying to figure out how to hang one of these gates a simple way. See, with that type of hanger and those two holes in there like that, you could put 4 holes in it if you wanted to. You could bolt it on or screw it on or whatever to a wooden post if you wanted to. I would drill the holes all the way through the post, make it a substantial post like a 6x6 or an 8x8 or something like that, and drill the holes all the way through and get some of that all thread stuff. You know, it doesn't have to be fancy bolts. Cut the all thread off to where it's nice and clean, the gate moves freely, and you could use that same method to hang them on a wooden post. Doesn't have to be a steel post like this. But anyway, that's as much as we're going to talk about that little dinky job. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and we'll see you in the next video.